People Garden. Thank you for joining us. How are you this fine day? My name is Eva Fulton, and it is my honor to serve as your hostess of the Mighty People Garden podcast. We are gathered here to grow in our relationship with ourselves, God, and others around us. Each podcast will focus on what it means to grow using the parable of the sower as our foundational framework for our discussions. Everyone can see your front yard, but only you can see your backyard. It's not about networking, it's about people gardening. So sit back and let's sow some seeds. Hey, good morning. This is Eva Fulton, the host of the Mighty People Garden podcast. Today is Monday, September 8th, the year of our Lord, 2025. Thank you so much for joining us. I am happy to have you all here, and I am continuing the E-Effect series of words. Last week, we kicked off this series with the word Emmanuel, and Emmanuel means He is with us. If you consider in your daily life, your walk, that, God is with you wherever you're going. Wherever you're going, whatever you're doing, who you're doing it with, how you're doing it, by yourself, whatever. God's with you, whichever way you're going, the who, what, when, where, why, how, then that is the essence of God is with us no matter where you are, no matter whether you're shopping, you're working, you're sleeping, you're praying, you're driving, you're going to work, you're hiking on the trail, my favorite. Getting out there and just living life, or maybe it's just you're being, a couch potato, but God's with you wherever you go, right? Emmanuel, God is with us. And that, to me, is probably one of the biggest foundations of what the E-Effect is supposed to be about, that if we have these series of words that are going to frame how we go about our daily lives, then that helps us, consider how we're actually living life. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and transition to this word for the week, and that is the word evaluate, which means to assess. If you're trying to figure out where you're going to go, then you're going to have to assess where you are. We have to evaluate, the situation. I don't care whether you're at the mall, maybe you're on the trail, you're looking at the signs. Which way do you want me to go? I have these conversations with God. Nope, that doesn't sound crazy to me. I have these conversations with God. Which way do you want me to go, God? I have to ask Him a question. I'm at the mall. You're going to look at the map. You are here. In order to know where you're supposed to go in life, we have to ask the sometimes easy but obvious question and evaluate where we are in our life. Because how do you know which way to go if you don't know where you are now? You know where you've been. You were that way, or you were that way, down that road, down that path, whatever was behind you. But now you're looking forward and you're evaluating, am I going uphill? Am I going downhill? What challenges are going to be there? You have to evaluate the situation. You have to assess to see what's going on, to know which direction you need to go. Because maybe you're on the wrong path. I've been that hiker before. I was headed down what I thought was the right route and then had to turn back, an 8-minute retrace back to the right fork in the road to get back on the right path. And that's quite okay. It was just a little side adventure in life. No big deal. But sometimes that happens. But we have to evaluate, not just from our own human perspective, but pray about it and think, God, which way do you want me to go? Because it's not always about what we want to do, we have to evaluate and let God talk to us and let him tell us which way he wants us to go. Because that's the whole point of free will, right? He wants us to have the free will, but if we're not asking which direction do you want me to go, God, then chances are we're going to head down the path that God didn't intend. I don't care whether you were Noah, whether you were Moses, whether you were Ruth, or any of these other cast of characters in the Bible. They were always asking God. Even Jesus asked, which way do you want me to go? We're no different, right? We are no different. And I wouldn't be where I'm at today if I didn't learn to have that mindful practice of asking God, evaluating which way do you want me to go? Because he's not with me if I'm headed off on my own path, trying to, forge my way through the forest that doesn't have a path there. He wants me to follow his path. And that's that intimate conversation that you have to have with him, but you have to evaluate, is God with you or not? Are you going to go down his path or not? Because chances are, I'm telling you, you're going to get where you need to go if you've done the right evaluation and let him guide your journey. So I don't want to berate this too much, but I want y'all to be able to start connecting these E-effect words that Emmanuel is with us, and we need him to evaluate the situation of where we are in life, not necessarily where we've been, because that's not about where we've been does not define who we are, because we're at a different place now than where we've been, hindsight's 2020, right? We're trying to keep God's vision in front of us, with us, and putting one foot in front of the other. But we have to evaluate the situation and know which direction to go. So hopefully you'll find these two words and this E-effect series helpful. I will try not to make them super long, but they all do tie together, have quite a few words to get through the series. So hopefully this will be a great journey. And I hope y'all have a fabulous week. May you all be healthy and safe. Think safe. Sorry, I'm merging my words here, aren't I? Anyways, be careful and be blessed and grow your people garden. We'll talk to you guys next week. Have a great day.